So wonderful to report that America is back, baby. I love it. Yep. I'm American nationalist. Oh, he said the nationalist term. Oh no. I love America. I love all you all who watch. I got a man from New Zealand. I got a guy from Ireland who have chimed in and whatnot. But man, America, it's just the best country ever. It really is, and it's not because of land or because of Ronald Reagan or Obama. It's because of the nature of the freedom we ascribe to, which was, I mean, divine intervention, my friends, put into the Constitution where these men would and there are women behind them too. I mean, I hate to say it, it's not just John Adams and these guys. I mean, was it Abigail Adams? I mean, when these guys are going out there to stand up against the king and crown, I mean, it wasn't just the men who are risking all, it was the women too. I mean, what's going to happen when these guys, John Hancock and whatnot, are strung up? The women are going to, I mean, hey, all you got to do is read history. Read ersatz in the Confederacy. There was one I just got done reading a few months ago about World War II, what the women went through when their husbands were killed in war. It just it hurts everybody. So anyway, at the end of the day, divine intervention allowed for those 3% of the population of the back then the British colony, that was called America, to stand against king and crown and just remake the world. It's freaking awesome, and I will forever ever be grateful. Anyway, so this right here is just, man, I could not be happier. Oops, let me get to this Pete right here. All right, so here's a global and competitive index from the World Economic Forum, Dateline. This is what they did in 2018. So at the end of 2018, it's freaking awesome. I love it. So the Global Competitive Index 4.0 assesses the microeconomic and macroeconomic foundations of national competitiveness, which is defined as a set of institutions, policies, and factors that determine the level of productivity of a country. Look who's number one again, the good old US of A at 85.6. It's Singapore. I mean, so actually it's funny because Singapore is, if you want I hate to say a fascistic state, because everyone thinks you're talking to Hitler, and I'm not saying that, but I am saying the government controls how things are done, and everybody falls in line. The government don't own the means of production, even though they could, but they control how it's dissipated and whatnot. And that's literally a fascistic state, as you can see. It's not fascistic in terms of you got the brown shirts, but you step out of line. Remember that kid 20 years ago who spray painted a thing in Singapore and he got thrown 30 lashes or something like that? I mean, he was a freaking tourist from America, freaking loser. But anyway, Singapore is not the libertarian panacea for sure. But at the end of the day, Singapore is kicking butt, taking names. And if you think about it, if you look at these old pictures from just 50 years ago, Singapore was nothing. I love it, man. U.S., so back number one. We got Switzerland, Germany, and we got Denmark, Sweden. So look at this. Denmark and Sweden and Finland. Remember how Bernie Sanders, all those guys say, we should be more like the Norwegian countries. Not Norwegians, the Scandinavian countries, which is my namesake. Scandinavia. Sweden, Denmark, Finland. Above Canada, and here's Taiwan. And look at Hong Kong, still, even though the Chinese have taken over from, was it 1999, and it put some limits on their freedom, they're still way up. Man, if you think about freedom, you just look at Hong Kong. There is no natural resources there, nothing. And yet Hong Kong, from peace and prosperity, it can't be. I mean, Singapore, Hong Kong, it's incredible. It's incredible what happens when you allow people to act on their own best interests. It's amazing to me. I mean, look at Taiwan, man. Taiwan. I just could not be happier. So we go down here, we see U.S. up for number one, and then we come down, and again, here's the socialistic countries that Bernie Sanders and the AOC and the left always talks about in the top 10, and then Finland in number 11. Look at New Zealand. New Zealand used to be literally a mecca for libertarianism back in the late 80s, and now it's just prosperity brings big government and brings statism. There's no other way around that. I mean, Ireland way down here, Spain way down here. Is there any reason why Spain is in a world of hurt? Because they're freaking not free. What's Greece? I guarantee Greece is going to be way down here. I don't know how to do it on an Apple. I mean, what's Estonia? When I was, Estonia's dropped quite a bit. That's too bad. Where is Greece? Because, 57. So, and there's India right behind it. So anyway, it's actually pretty interesting. There's Colombia. I'm surprised Colombia's so low. I want to see what, so this is in 2018. Let's take a look at what it was before 2018. I want to see Chad, Haiti, number 138. Is that surprising? Hell, Haiti, I don't even know if they got Venezuela. Look at that, 127. So Haiti's below Venezuela. Mozambique. Where is Cuba? Man, Cuba. Do they even have Cuba on here? I didn't see it. I must admit. There's Honduras. Anyway, where the hell's Cuba? Maybe they don't have it because it's a pure socialistic, communistic country. I don't know. All right, so let me pause. I want to see what it was in 2015. So pause just a second. The competitive index in 2016, U.S. was number 3 and had a reducing trend from, I don't know what years those are. But anyway, the trend, it's got to be a 10-year trend time frame. Reducing, then it started to come back up a little bit. That's fantastic. Where's Estonia? Because Estonia used to be like just a model. Yeah, Estonia. Oh, it's kind of picking up. That's good. Anyway, so that's 2016. So let's see what it is in 2014. 2013 and 14, 15, U.S. was still number 3. Switzerland and Singapore number 1 and 2 respectively. Finland was number 4. Interesting. Sweden 10, Norway 11, Denmark 13. So there you go, your Scandinavian countries. And I just going back to Estonia. I did 29. Okay, I did an article, paper on Estonia back in 1993, I think, or 1994 for college. So here is the rank. U.S. was number 13 in 2013, and I can't see what that says. We were 5 for whatever. Global competitive. There you go. 2013. We were number 5 in 2013. Then we went up to number 3 in 2014, 15, and now we're back up number 1. I just look at Greece. Look, man. The simple. Well, I don't even want to say anymore. But the issue is that if you're going to be free, you're going to allow. You're gonna free your people to live as they want, which what that and the prosperity is going to come with it. What that means is don't regulate African hair braiders, for heaven's sake, that they need 150 hours of freaking cosmetology, whatever it is. It's nuts. Why should some girl, young lady in Southeast DC in Anacostia, who says, I want to get the hell out of Dodge, I can move to Phoenix, Arizona, and I want to open an African hair braiding, just a little place. Why should she have to go through 150 hours of training when the training doesn't focus on African hair braiding? I mean, because we got to protect the consumer. The consumer is a big boy. The consumer can protect himself by saying, yeah, I'm not so sure. Or, yeah, I like the way you do it. Let the consumer do it. My goodness. We used to have in Mississippi and Arkansas, and this is where I love the Institute for Justice, you could not produce coffins, I think is wood coffins. You couldn't unless you got approval from the competitors that they say we can't meet the demand. So they have of course the competitors are never going to say we can't meet the demand, because what they're going to do is they're going to price and price and price so the demand is minimal. It was nuts. And so the people who could afford it were happy because they say, I can afford a $15,000 coffin. But the people who couldn't say they had no choice but to literally break the law. Institute for Justice got in there and said that's not constitutional. I'll never forget, I had a friend of mine back in Shenandoah Valley in Harrisonburg, Virginia. He wanted to open a cab company. And the way to do it for the city of Harrisonburg, the city council, they said, we'll approve it, but you have to get approved by the other cab. I think there's 2 other cab companies. They have to approve it, saying they can't meet the demand. Of course, the cab companies always said, no, we can meet the demand, because the demand was being minimal. And so anyway, I mean, it was just they weren't meeting the demand as it was, so no one looked to buy a cab, but get a cab, and they said, no, we're not going to do that. So he was literally operating under the black market to give people cab rides at a cheaper price. It was insane. And the city council, he told me stories about cops pulling him over, arresting him and stuff. It was nuts, man. And so this is global competitiveness. We don't want that kind of crap. Oh, it's got to be regulated to make sure it helps the consumer. They say that all the time. It's just a big lark in order to get the powers that be. So the cab companies will give the money to the city council. City council will say to the cab company, we're going to have these free market sounding platitudes, but at the end of the day, if you don't agree to opening up the cab market because you say you don't have enough business, then we'll just not allow this guy to work. And because this one guy is just one guy, And there's not a huge interest in this in the overall population, the voting population. They just don't care because most of them don't use cabs. No one's going to care. No one will be worse for the wear, except you will make money, the cab company, because you'll have the monopoly in the market, backed by law. We'll make money because you'll continue to give us campaign dollars to keep scratch each other's back. It's a freaking corrupt system, man. And it's not the feds that are the worst. It's the local fiefdoms that are the worst. The local fiefdoms. So this is great from a federal government economic level. It's not great from your locality. I'm just telling you right now. I tell you, my dad, I'll never forget him telling me this. And my dad's a huge libertarian. Wasn't always like that, but starting a business will make you become a libertarian. Just look at George McGovern. Now he's not a libertarian. I think he's dead, but still, when he's trying to start his bed and breakfast up in Minnesota, wherever he's from, I think it was Minnesota, he couldn't believe all the regulations he had to jump through, and those are the same regulations he put in place, and he was dismayed by that. Well, anyway, so I'll never forget my dad saying, look, man, dealing with the feds is easy. It's dealing with the city of Alexandria. That's where the fiefdoms are. That's where these chiefs want to retain their power. The feds, no big deal. It's the local city council. They're the ones who are the biggest pain. And then they go up to the state. It gets easier, but they're even harder than the feds. So anyway, U.S. is back on a national level. Whether or not your local community is or not, I don't know. But you'd want to go to a business-friendly state for sure. It's not going to be New York. It's not going to be California. Texas, right here in Georgia, Tennessee, business friendly. But even in these places, they're going to have their little fiefdoms that you got to deal with. So just keep that in mind. But it's a wonderful thing. The U.S. is back. Couldn't be happier. All right, see you.